Howdy everyone. Alright, so as you can see behind me, this is my fuselage. And you can see it's got a ton of clecos in it, which obviously means it is not riveted yet. So here's the thing. Getting to this point on this build was not my favorite part of the build. And building the fuselage is what I was really looking forward to the most, and I really have enjoyed it. But this is the part that I don't like. You basically assemble the entire fuselage, or just about the entire fuselage. There are all kinds of angle brackets and gussets and bulkheads that you have to put in the front. There are floor stiffeners across the floor that you have to put in. Back here, there are some baggage area, interior panels and bulkheads and different things. You have to put all that in with the fuselage upside down, which for me is not fun. I'm not a fan of crawling around on the floor. I don't really enjoy trying to work up over my head. I know I'm complaining and I'm whining, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up that you put all that time and effort and work into getting the fuselage built, then you have to take it apart. And that just kills me, because it's like, here it is, and I have to completely disassemble the whole thing all the way back to the tail cone, because everything that you've worked on, everything that you see here and everything that you can't see internally that has been added to the fuselage, all that has to be cleaned, deburred, edge finished, dimpled, countersunk, whatever it is. So the only way to do that is to disassemble everything. And for me, once I get everything disassembled, I have to come back and I have some work to do on the tail cone. Some of these, this bulkhead here and this rib support that runs back here and some other miscellaneous things, either I missed it or the instructions weren't entirely clear, but there's some things I didn't rivet. I remember the instructions saying not to, but I don't recall them ever saying, okay, now you can. So I have some riveting to do on this bulkhead in here, some of the tail cone stuff right in this area. And then I have everything forward to, like I said, deburr, dimple, countersink, all that stuff. Then I can start reassembly. So it really does suck to get to this point and have to take everything apart. But the good news is, and this is what makes me feel so much better, I don't like clutter and I hate a mess. And right now this thing is a mess because there's metal shavings all over the place. I know there's stuff all up in this center section that has already been built. You know, when you're drilling up here, you know there's stuff falling into the center section on both sides. So I'm really looking forward to getting this apart now and cleaning everything out and getting everything prepped for reassembly. That's getting me really jacked. The other thing is, as I was going around the airplane and match drilling everything, I made notes, like I've talked about many times. I just have notes scribbled in different places, just reminding me, hey, you got to trim a little material off of here to get it to fit better. You have a rivet underneath this skin, for example, that shouldn't be there. I have to drill that rivet out. I have a cutout here for the aileron control rod, whatever you want to call that. Just notes like that throughout the entire airplane. And I don't know if this shows on camera, but I've got all these little black tick marks just about on every single hole. That just tells me that that hole has already been match drilled. And again, that's on the entire fuselage. So make sure you match drill all of these holes. Every single last one of them has to be match drilled at this point, because after you disassemble it and you come back and do the reassembly, you're going to rivet. So you want all these holes ready to go. I am not a fan of putting things together multiple surfaces together, drilling them, and then putting a rivet in. And by that I mean if I have all this riveted and I get up to here, and this, I can't get a rivet in this hole, it pains me to run a drill bit through there because I know that there's a very good possibility there's going to be small metal shavings between the two skins or between the two materials. There's nothing I can do about it because from here back everything's already riveted. You don't really have a choice at that point. But take your time now and make sure you've got everything match drilled. Make sure you've got every hole hit. You've got, if you need to write down notes, if you need reminders, write them right there. Say, hey, countersink this, drill this out, take some material off here because it's binding, whatever it is. So that's kind of where I am. I've gotten everything that the instructions have told me to so far installed up inside here. The majority of the work is in this front section. Like I said, there's a bulkhead here, and remember you have to do this on both sides. So there's a bulkhead here, and then you've got some angle that runs in here. There's a reinforcement plate that runs in here. My other video, I showed you how you have that metal bracket that sticks out here. On the back side, you've got some shims and another piece of angle bracket. There's floor stiffeners in here. Kind of a lot going on. A lot of work, a lot of mess, a lot of metal shavings. I've got the floor cleaned up and the majority of the outside cleaned up, but makes a mess. It's very tedious. It took me, gosh, from the time I fitted the center section to the tail cone and started working my way through this, it's probably been at least, I'm going to say at least a month and a half, I think. Not really sure. Doesn't really matter. That means nothing. If it takes you a day to do it all, if it takes you a year to do that much, that's just how it goes. I wouldn't worry about time. Just work it and take your time and try to do, you know, a professional job. Okay, so that's that. I'm drawing a blank already, so I don't want to keep rambling. So I think what I'll do, I don't know that I'll start on it tonight, but when I start this assembly, I think I'll set the camera up for a time lapse and I'll just kind of warp drive myself to you guys anyway. You'll just see me kind of warp through the disassembly process. And then I start the typical cleanup and get everything prepped for reassembly. So with that, I'm going to go and I'm either going to quit for the night. I think I'll quit for the night. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my channel. And like I've always said, either in the comments or you can contact me directly if you like something, don't like something, if you want to see something I'm not talking about, if you want me to show you other things in more detail, whatever it is, shoot me an email, give me a comment. I always check my comments on the videos, so if I see something from you, I'll get back to you. All right? All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.